Hey, what's up everybody, Retro Gaming Guy here. Today in this video, I'm going to show you guys around this cool product right here. It looks like an old school cassette. However, this is actually a hyper-based Batocera 2 terabyte external hard drive. On here, we've got a bunch of different games and collections all pre-configured and ready to be played. So I'm going to plug this in via USB connection, boot to it on my gaming PC, and we're going to test this out. Now, I'm also going to do a separate video showing you guys how to actually adjust your boot order on your PC to boot to something like this that is plugged in via USB connection rather than a SATA connection, which is how we would typically go about connecting an SSD or regular hard drive. So let's dive into this and see what this product right here is all about. All right, so here we have our hyper-base external hard drive, and if we turn this over, you're going to see one connection on the side. That is literally the only way you could possibly connect this. Everything else is fully enclosed, so all we have to do is take the provided cable. We're going to plug that directly into the port on our hard drive. This end of the cable is a USB 3 connection. All you have to do is plug this in to any USB port on your PC, and then we're going to adjust the boot order. So I'm going to plug this into my PC. All right, guys, here we are booted up into this external Batocera hard drive. Now, I will provide you guys with a link in the description of this video to show you guys how you can actually change your boot order to boot to a hard drive connected through USB connection on your PC. Now, let's take a look through this entire collection. So here on the All Games list, it's going to list for us every single title that is included on this particular setup. So there's actually 52,247 retro video games included on here. The number's not inflated. It's an actual number that actually accounts for every game on here. But we are going to go through this collection by collection and just kind of take a look at what this has to offer. I'm not going to spend too much time on each one because I do want to jump into some games, test out the performance as well. But let's jump into the All Games list. So this is going to be your layout from collection to collection. You're going to see a text list on the right hand side, a description of each title in the center, and then just some additional information as to who developed it, published it, the genre, and whatnot. We also have a still shot from the game, a rating for the game up at the top in terms of popularity, and also box art. So you can see as we scroll through how each of these will populate in. And the reason there's no video previews for each title is because they're trying to make it so you can fit more into this particular setup, and videos for each of the titles would just take up a massive amount of storage space. So really a nice layout here. So I will actually back out of this, and we're just going to take a look at all of the collections. So we have, I'm not going to name each one, but you'll be able to see each of these, and it should also give us a total for how many games are in each collection. So right here, if you look on the left hand side, at the bottom it says total 2,917 games. So I'll go through each of these so you can take a look at the game count for each, and I'll try to just zip along so we don't take too much time up doing this. But Apple II in here with 473 games. MAME, 2,116 games. I'm, again, not going to tell you the count on each one of these just to try to speed through this as quickly as possible without taking too much time. But all the Atari collections are included on here, which is awesome to see. A lot of the lesser known ones too. Jaguar is one we don't see a whole lot of, 64 games for that one. Some open source stuff here as well. Some old school WonderSwan. Massive collection for Commodore 64, 6,549 games. That's massive. Amiga 500, 2,621 games. Scum VM is an awesome bunch of computer games. Most of them are actually, I think all of them are point and click. Bunch of MSX collections. Here we have some Windows. In fact, I think there's just one in here, but you could always build upon this collection too if you wanted to do some of that on your own. Xbox, I think there's just one game here. So we have Jet Set Radio Future. All your classic stuff. 1,878 games for Nintendo Entertainment System. And we'll actually take a look in here so you can see how everything is laid out. And I believe you have some foreign releases in here as well. So a lot of times they'll actually combine some of the like Japanese releases for some of these collections too. So you'll see some really large game list numbers on a lot of these retro game collections. Super Game Boy is pretty cool to see on here. It's just a lot of very unique collections, which is, again, just very cool to see. 461 Nintendo 64 games, so we'll actually jump in here and take a look through this collection because it is so popular. And you're going to see here definitely some foreign releases too, which is, again, really cool to see. So back out of N64, Game Boy Color. Another unique one here is Nintendo 64 DD. I've never actually seen this on a lot of stuff. Let's check this out. I have not much knowledge about emulation with this, but it is pretty cool to see on here. Nintendo GameCube. This one has 232 games. I'm definitely going to jump into this collection. Game Boy Advance, Pokemon Mini, Nintendo DS, Wii, 20 Wii games on here. Let's see what they have. So all your classic Mario games, it looks like. Great selection of titles here. Nintendo 3DS, 465 titles there. That's pretty awesome. $281 open board games, which is a pretty massive collection of games here. These are like your side-to-side sort of remixed custom sort of games. Really some great titles in here though. This one, Batman Gotham Knights, is pretty cool. I've played this one all the way through. But a lot of really cool stuff you can explore on here. This Bruce Lee game is really cool as well. So it's kind of custom created stuff, but really a nice spin on classic games. So there's some Double Dragon stuff here. I've played quite a few of those as well. Dungeons and Dragons. Very cool stuff to kind of explore and experiment with. Continuing on, you can see got a lot of great stuff here. Bunch of Sega collections, so Master System, Genesis, Game Gear here. They're massive collections too. Sega CD, Sega Saturn with 987 Sega Saturn games. I'll have to jump into that collection. That is a collection that is tough to emulate, but on Batocera it does work extremely well. Genesis 32X, Dreamcast, 298 Dreamcast games. Naomi, 54 games there. Some Neo Geo classics. And then we, of course, have PlayStation with 1540 for games. PS2 with 125. PSP with 726. And then PS3 is just going to give you one title here to kind of get you started. Those games take up a massive amount of storage space, so I understand why that is a limited collection here. Plus, you really need a gaming PC to play that. So, again, makes sense why they wouldn't spend too much space, being taken up by this more advanced collection. Supervision with 66 games, and that brings us back to our all games list. So let's jump into some titles for different collections and see what the performance is like on this hard drive.
First 2 men in the backfield.
Lou! Hey!
Drops back. Heaves it. That stunk.
Oh, he stunk that up. No excuses there.
Second and goal.
Hey!
Puts it up. Incomplete pass. I don't know about that pass. The Eagles down by 7.
Hey!
To his left. And he will go untouched into the end zone. Touchdown. Now here's the replay.
That makes way for Larkin. He's looking to get something started here.
Strike!
The right-hander delivers. Smoked that one. That's in there for a hit.
Hey!
Now batting, Barry Bonds.
Digging in here is Bonds. He took some extra BP today, so look out.
Strike!
Good chance to get a run with 2 men on and no outs. The 0-1 pitch.
Strike!
In the on-deck circle is McGriff. Here's the 2-strike pitch. He got under that one.
Out! Out!
Double play.
Jumps into the lead.
All right, guys, we jumped into this 2 terabyte Batocera external hard drive, and I have to say, it's not only cool looking, everything that comes on here is absolutely amazing. I jumped into N64, GameCube, Sega Saturn, as well as PlayStation 2, and the games run perfectly. I tested out a lot more games than what I showed in this video in an effort to keep this video as short as possible, but the performance is great. The quality is great on here. The price point is insane for what you get. Over 52,000 retro video games on this external hard drive. Super easy to connect. Literally just connect that cable right to the hard drive. Other end goes into the USB port on your PC, and you can boot right up into this. I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can see my tutorial video on how to actually change your boot order on your PC to boot from a USB device like this. But it's super easy. This is truly plug and play. All you need, of course, is that PC to connect it to and a controller. The controller, once you connect to your computer, will walk you through the process of mapping. It takes all of probably 20 seconds to map a controller, and then it is plug and play for all of your games and game collections. Great performance, great options on here, tons of amazing collections, and you can actually take this and fully customize it. You can go into the files, remove games or game collections that you know you're never going to play, free up some space on the hard drive, and then you can go in and add more of the games you want to enjoy. So I think it's a great starter for anybody looking to get into Batocera. And this is an older version of Batocera that comes on here by default. Just keep that in mind. If you want to update it, you can certainly do that. You'll have to connect to Wi-Fi on your PC when booted into this. I have a bunch of tutorial videos here on the channel that walk you through just about anything you can imagine doing on Batocera. Those will be a great help to you if you do want to customize this, add and remove games, update it, whatever. Just keep in mind there's only 8 gigabytes that are free, open space on this currently. So you likely, if you want to update or make any sort of customizations, you definitely are going to want to remove some games and game collections just to free up the necessary amount of space. But that's really going to do it for today. This is amazing. I'm a huge fan of this. In all honesty, I'll be perfectly honest, I did not think that this was going to be as high of quality as it actually is here. And again, that unique design just looks so cool as a retro cassette sort of hard drive appearance. Definitely plays into all the retro vibes that you're going to get from the collections contained within. So let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of this external hard drive for Batocera. And of course, hit the subscribe button if you want to stay in the loop for all future videos here on the Retro Gaming Guy YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link at the top of your screen as well as in the description. So you can click over, get some more information on this external hard drive. That's going to do it for today, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.